And allow me to welcome the dream builder, Mr. Ignatius Munengo. How are you doing today, Baba?
Thami,
yeah,
always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to have you in Moxica.
I'm happy today. You know, I always like how my papers get processed so quickly right here in Moxica. Can I go pinda? I don't have any issues with glitches or anything.
But I heard you as I was coming in saying that living in Moxica, it's like a weekend every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's Friday every day.
That just shows you the kind of atmosphere that we create here in Moxica. It makes you feel like you're, enjoying life. Anyway, let's get into it. Every Monday, we come here and we discuss how you can link education to the marketplace. I'm also the Prime Minister of Moxica, as you know. So I have some state functions that I have to run with His Royal Highness King Mox to make sure that our country also begins to see itself on the global map. But the topic for today, curriculum. I want to share a story, but we're going to talk about the curriculum. How is the curriculum the key to unlocking marketplace opportunities? You heard me. How is the curriculum? What we are being taught right from ECD to PhD, how is it preparing us to take over the marketplace? I want to start with a story. I love stories, as you know. There's a story and it's more like a parable, and here's how it goes. There was a rat that was very, very hungry. And so it came across a big, big drum that was full of grain, and it thought, yes, this is it. I've hit my jackpot. And as it ate, it kept eating until it hit the big drum, 200-liter drum. And at the end of the day, it finished the food, and it was now at the bottom of the drum, and it could not get out. It was trapped.
Yeah.
And when I first heard this story, I thought about Zimbabwe, I thought about Africa, I thought about debt, I thought about capacity. Because this mouse now felt like, shucks. I was being fed. Do I have the skill to feed myself out of the food that I was given? Do I have the knowledge of how to climb out of this drum? Am I equipped? And of course now it was trapped. It was dependent on getting food from someone who would have to come by and throw stuff. And that's not a nice place to be in when you, as a country or a continent, become dependent on whatever it is, be it funding, be it food, as the example is in this case. My chat today is our curriculum, and I want to link this to how this particular example, this mouse ended up realizing that it didn't have the skills. Do you know what I'm saying, Thami? It didn't have the skills. When we look at our education, and we look at, education is a lifelong process, so it's not just about ECD, primary and secondary, or tertiary. How are we preparing the next generation for the marketplace? The marketplace is changing. You heard about AI, we've heard about Starlink. I'm excited that Starlink is now in Zimbabwe and growing very fast from what I'm hearing. But Starlink's presence means there are going to be new careers, Thami.
Yeah, facts.
It means that, data is going to be available. There's a digital divide between the haves and the have-nots. And I'm seeing it globally where, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, China and America are leading the way in spending money on artificial intelligence.
Yeah. On
every sector, right? So the question I have is, and I want to link it through to the proposal that I shared a couple of months ago, Formal Education Forum. Thami,
talk to me.
The proposal is this.
Yeah.
We have former government A schools, just after independence. Your Prince Edwards, your Mount Pleasance, your Oriel, Fush, Allen Wilson, all of these schools, at some point, were A schools. They have the infrastructure. They have the balance sheet. They have the fields. I actually think Mount Pleasant is one that comes to mind. It is a massive infrastructure. It's got tennis courts. It's got swimming pools. It's got the infrastructure. And there are many that I've left out countrywide.
Yeah.
And the story is this. How are we able to resuscitate, to bring back what may have been lost through years, whatever the situation may be? How do we give it a facelift?
Yeah.
Our vision in Zimbabwe, Vision 2028, 2030, is we want to build an upper middle income class. Upper middle income class speaks of people who have skills, right? It's skilled people of a certain level of income and marketplace command. That's the question I'm asking us today. As we reflect on what can we do with Fumo, how can we, I spoke and I shared a couple of months ago, there has been a fund, there are people who are interested in helping. I initially said $1 million per school. I've had a couple of SDCs reach out. And the vision and the goal is this: how can we accelerate what I consider could be a blunt axe? The axe is being sharpened.
Yeah.
I mean, the reforms that are happening, I'm just saying how much more quickly can we get about to sharpening the axe where curriculum is involved? The worst thing we want to do is to have a lot of educated people who actually are not relevant to the marketplace. Tinema degrees, Thami. Some of them are irrelevant, some of them the market doesn't want. Globally, people are now training themselves, right? My company is an Apple. They have an inside academy that takes people straight out of high school. They're not even waiting for people to do first, second degrees. They're saying, hey, some of the content, some of the skills you're learning are not relevant to what we want Pabasapana.
So come, let's teach you the job
We will
right here.
teach you what you need to do at Google. We need to teach you what's going to happen, at Apple, wherever. And I'm saying, Zimbabwe, we're blessed. We're blessed with minerals. We're blessed with land. We're blessed with weather. We're blessed with and innovation. We've got innovative culture, right? In terms of our ability to bring. How do we begin to equip our curriculum, have real conversations, maths, English, now with AI as well, we should stop cramming. I'm hearing the British Council, Cambridge, in a couple of years' time, things are going to change. It's not what you know or how much you know. It may be where do you find what you need to know? How do you use what you know? The wisdom of application is going to be better than the wisdom of cramming and remembering and regurgitating.
Yeah.
Curriculum, in my opinion, is a key topic of discussion, because the fruit of what we have in the current education system, and as we continue to evolve, has to be tested by its relevance to the marketplace. How many people are being absorbed by the market?
Yeah.
Udara Rain's O-level was key, and it was key in the ability to teach you how to be a critical thinker. You couldn't get into the marketplace without an O-level. Then it went up to A-level. Then it went up to first degree. Now it's, do you have a master's?
Facts. Yeah.
But I even question, why are you studying? One. And two, in what area? Is it a scarce and critical skill? Is it a unique area? Right? When I say mining, do you know, with all the gold we have, I love gold. I always say, I love the fact that we have the highest gold per square kilometer, and we're endowed with it. The question is, how do we capacitate a 10-year-old to even know what it looks like, or to even know what lithium or diamonds or the minerals that we have looks like? How do we get that into the curriculum, right? How do we get to train people to build generationally, right? How do we create the culture? I look at Indian cultures at times, and they build through what they call castes. Like, that's what your family does. I'm not advocating for that across all industries, but it's very interesting that they become specialists generationally in shoemaking to the point where they begin to export. As a nation, what can we become generationally solid and globally known for? We have the sun, we've got everything actually to make solar panels right here in Zimbabwe. Every single mineral to make solar panels. We even have the lithium. We can make the power, generate the batteries. It's a huge issue for our friend Elon Musk, who is rolling out all these EVs.
Yeah.
Curriculum. This is not only a situation where government is responsible for changing curriculum. How's that? Because I think the home is the first school place, it's the first place of business, it's the first place of law. In the family, you teach your children. There are life lessons that we can discuss, including what are you going to do when you finish? What is your dream? How relevant is it? And I think those questions, those discussions can be had. And that's why I felt today, the Formal Education Forum is something that I'm excited about. I think we have a chance. I think we can pick about 100 schools, Thami,
Yeah.
I'm still pushing that. I've even said, some of the people in the diaspora, let's create a diaspora bond. But to create a bond, noise to set aside. We do up the infrastructure. We do up the schools in terms of not only just the old fields and the tennis courts and the sports infrastructure, but also we upgrade it to more modern learning management systems, things that include robotics, things that include even the music, the arts and culture, things that really position us to express who we are, our identity as people from Africa, as Zimbabweans, right? And to leapfrog some of the things that we're seeing. Because to continue to do the same thing and expect a different result sometimes may not lead us to where we want to go.
Facts.
I think as a continent we're gifted, and this is why we need education that is productive, education that is relevant. That's why in Moxica our mantra is empowerment through focused capacity building. How can we empower the next generation? Some of you are listening to me, Mtorpa school run, you're picking up your kids and you're saying to yourself, okay, what does this mean for me? I'm asking you, at your next parents meeting, you need to ask the school what's happening, right? The school needs to upskill to say, what other interesting skills can we look at, right? What builds a character? It's not all academics. It's not all academics. We need to have a 21st century student, 21st century leader, right?
Fact.
I was coming here, I heard the news and I was hearing how even in the speech that was read in the UN,
Yeah.
and we're talking about how we need to, in a way, decolonize our mindset. We need to decolonize how we view life. The global system has an architecture which sometimes doesn't serve Africa. It puts us in that drum. Tammy, and it makes us dependent. And I loved listening to the news. You're going to listen to it again. It's going to be read every hour. Listen to the message that I heard, that unless we begin to talk about removing some of these architectures, which starts in the mind, right? How do we begin to have our own narrative of success? Cut and paste. There's a place for exposure and there's a place for us to customize it according to who we are. So that's what I wanted to share today. For those that want to get in contact, I'm also going to share about International Scholars Program. I've got to talk about that, Tammy. International Scholars Program is something that I've embarked on. It is a STEM-based master's program in the US and Canada. If you know anyone, I know you know someone who's graduated. I know you know someone who's working and is graduated or has graduated over 5-10 years. This is eligible for anyone who's 23 to 50 years old. A little bit after 50 it can be sticky, right? You need 9 points at A level. You need to have passed with an upper 2.2 or more, any degree, right? And then you qualify for the potential to get 100% scholarship from our partnering universities, right? And these partnering universities have fees. We fund fees up to 50,000 a year, 100,000 over 2 years. It is a life-changing opportunity. All right, there are two options. You get to know more if you go to this website, www.internationalscholarsprogram.com. www.internationalscholarsprogram.com. Get there. Anybody. You could be employed, you could be an accountant, you could be an engineer, you could be a social worker. If you want to be strategic and if you want to look into getting yourself into STEM-based, the vision, people will be asking, how can we just give 100%? It's because we're investing in your future. We've done homework and we know that, and this is the thing I was talking about, curriculum linking to the marketplace. We've done that and we've linked and we found that, hang on, if you study these master's programs from these partnering universities, globally, and we know if we invest in you, just like governments would invest in bonding students, they go to university and they pay over a couple of years, it's exactly the same model. And we've been able to tap into what they call impact funding, where people get funding for up to 20 years, and so you're able to pay it back when you start working between 3 to 10 years after you start working. This is a massive opportunity. If you know anyone, we're based on 12th floor Joiner City here in Harare, but we're available for anyone across the country. And even those in the diaspora. Currently, we've got so many applications, people in the US, people in Canada, Zimbabweans who tune in, People are tuning in from all over the world, Tammy? And they're listening to this. Spread the news. It is possible for you to live your dream and to take a step out and sharpen your axe outside.
All right, so yeah, there was the Dream Builder is back again next week on Monday. His name is Ignatius Munengwa, and I think if you want to check out the International Scholars Program, you gotta check on the website. What's the website again?
www.internationalscholarsprogram.com. You can get a hold of me on the following details: 0718 785 000, 0718 785 000. You can follow me on the following social media handles. On LinkedIn, it's Ignatius Munengwa. I've had a lot of people inbox me, DM me there. Facebook, it's Ignatius Munengwa. Instagram, it's Ignatius Munengwa. And on TikTok, it's dream_builder. I am here. I am the Prime Minister of Moxica, son of the soil of Zimbabwe, here every Monday to inspire you to dream big, start small, and always finish strong.
Thank you so much, the Dream Builder. And you know what? We're going to link up on the next edition coming up next week on Monday. Don't miss out. Thank you so much.